I've really enjoyed working on this actually,
Good.
and that's why I have the cape out here. And then I got diverted on your Neil Young trail a little bit, which is great
Yeah.
because all those songs are sort of part of my musical Rolodex up there.
Yeah.
I can hear all those songs and
Hmm.
everything really well. And so I started working on the larger country girl thing.
Oh,
They had which was fun, which I'd like to get to. And
sure.
also I took a look around at some of the versions of that you mentioned,
Hmm.
and found one that was it's not actually a live well, it is a live recording, but it's not a live video recording
Right.
that had a cover with Crosby, Stills and Nash.
Yeah, it was kind of a deceiving picture because it was a shot from like Deja Vu, and then it was just Neil playing it by himself.
Just Neil.
Yeah.
Yeah, just Neil. But I mean, that one just seemed like it tracked exactly your. Uh,
That that's the one I based the lesson on.
oh, okay, okay,
Yeah.
yeah. So that was really enjoyable, and also it and from a time anyway, I have some
Okay.
questions about that. There's some stuff in there that's really interesting, but I spent a little time on souvenirs here, and this has been interesting because working on those same finger picking mechanics, if you will, um, going between um, D position and
Hmm.
G position and D position and C position is I'm working on that, and I find myself um, still diverting into the same kind of on the fly changes. Or well, which if I play souvenirs here, I'll
Okay.
probably will end up doing that. And I'll probably overthink this, but I'll give it a wing here, and then we
Okay.
can we can sort of see here. But this is just a lot of fun, I must say. So let me see if I can just bang out some of this. Oh, that's the end.
Right. That's where you would stop. Yeah, that's where you'd stop and start singing, right?
Yeah,
With
right.
that last hammer on the D.
Yeah, and then
Um,
the G.
wow, that is really good. There's a couple little things that we got to tweak, but you did a great job keeping the timing going and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
And the so I think I have three little suggestions. On the A7, I'll start taking from the end. On the A7, when you have to add, I love that. That's the fingering I would always use for A7. But when you need to play the D on the third fret of the second string,
Hmm.
use your little finger. I think one time I'm not sure if you did both times or if
Yeah.
it, but make sure to don't try to slide your third finger up there and back.
Okay.
I
Okay.
think you did that once. I could be wrong. Because I'm mostly watching your right hand.
Okay.
But anyway, so that's an easy one. The other one that's relatively easy is the two times that it goes to a G chord after you've done the stuff on D.
Hmm.
Um, don't forget in the last note in the D measure is the open G string.
Oh, right.
And I didn't hear that either time. You got to let go of the D chord. So before you get to the G in the bass, you need the G ringing on the third string.
Okay.
Got it?
Yeah. Yeah.
And and the other thing I started recording this by the way, so you'll have all this. Oh,
When
go
you
ahead.
come out of that though, when you come out of that D, um, that, let's see, just well, the first instance that that happens,
No,
that,
oh, so that's the note I'm talking about. But
yeah.
the bass note before it has to be the fourth string again, or you're gonna miss it. So you hit the fourth string twice in a row on that in that measure.
Oh, oh, I see. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So it's, yeah, it's,
Yeah. Oh, except take the whole chord off right there. The D chord is gone. Right.
yeah,
So you're not just trying to open up that note to be like still as part of D. You're opening up that string because you let go of everything.
right. Okay, okay. And then
Oh,
just,
I'm sorry. Hang on. You don't let go of everything. You leave your third finger where it is on the D chord. Right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. But anyway, so that's one of those kind of little specific picky-uni sort of things that John does in this song that is really important. Is hearing that G before the G in the bass.
okay,
Right? And the last thing is actually really simple too. So all three of these things that I wanted to bring up are going to be easy fixes, I think. On the A7 chord, you just got to be more accurate with hitting the fifth string in the bass. You usually got to the fifth string in the bass the first time, but then as you kept alternating, it was usually the fourth and the third. So you weren't getting back to the fifth string the other three times that you need to play it. Okay. So anyway, just looking out for those three things. You got it.
okay, okay, okay. Let me just give one run through here.
Sure. Fix all that.
See if I can do that. Let's see if okay.
Same place. Open G right now.
Oh, on the and of four.
Right. And watch the bass notes here on this A.
Yeah, that's okay.
Closer. You got the first two of them on the fifth string, and the next two you still got the fourth string.
Oh, I'm still sliding down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was actually thinking about that.
Still not happening there at the end. So again, what I'm not hearing there when you're on that A7 is this, as the bass notes. Uh,
Okay, yeah. Oh, oh, of course, it's three.
right,
Yeah,
but that wasn't the one you were missing. It was five you were missing.
yeah, yeah. Five I'm missing. Yeah. Okay, okay, okay. Okay.
Yeah, closer
Yeah,
though. That yeah,
I
yeah.
gotta, I gotta, I have to repot myself on that. So, okay.
Yeah, and I think I like what else you did there on that A7. You have a couple choices for when you have to play the F sharp up on the first string. You could get that with your fourth finger and not move your third finger there because you've got another open note in between before your fourth finger has to get to the D.
Yeah.
Right? But it kind of depends on like the size of your fingers, and it might be uncomfortable to try to squeeze your fourth finger in there on the first string.
Yeah.
But it's also, I think what you did, and it's fine either way, was just moved your third finger to
yeah,
second fret. That's probably the best. I mean, either one of those works fine. Just kind of gotta. It's almost like you have to choose a path and stay with it. Don't let it be random. You know.
right. Okay, okay. Well, okay. I'm gonna work through that then. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
That's looking good though. Yeah.
Okay. So, all right. Souvenirs.
Okay.
Okay.
Move on,
Country
country
girl.
girl. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
so one other thing about Country Girl. I think I mentioned this in the lesson, but the studio version that they did for Deja Vu is actually in a different key, so you can't play along with them, right? It's tuned down a whole step, so you'd have to have your guitar,
Yeah.
de-capoed 2 frets to be in their
Yeah.
key,
And,
and
and there's an awful lot of production in it too.
yeah, it's like, and the song never really grabbed me very much. I mean, I like Neil's voice in the beginning, but it's not like it for many years. It wasn't like one of the standouts on that album to me. It was just sort of like a deep album cut.
Right, right, right.
And then it's followed by the goofy Stills song, "Everybody I Love You," that I was never fond of. So I always kind of like tuned out the end of that album, after things like "Almost Cut My Hair" and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah.
And uh, but I know what happened was when about 10 years ago when I got the Neil Young archives and started listening to some of his earlier performances, and I said, God, that song sounds familiar. I look it up and it's called, Whiskey Boot Hill. And I thought, wait a minute, I've heard this before, and I forgot totally that this song was a medley of a couple songs. I remember seeing the term Whiskey Boot Hill, but never hearing, never knowing what song that was of Neil Young's. Um, and so listening to his old recordings for like 1969 and stuff, live shows and things, it sort of opened the door. It's like, oh, that's what this is. It's a medley of these 3 tunes. And of course, sure enough, on the liner notes, it does point out that there's section A and section B, down, 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 and Country Girl, it was section C basically, or part.
Right.
So, yeah, kind of developed a new appreciation for it.
Are they? Is this song related to Broken Arrow?
Boy, it sure sounds, yes. Only in like form and composition. Like it's multi parts. As is the other lesson I did last week. The Old Laughing Lady is another one that has it's a very simple verse. There are like 4 verses in the song, but on the original recording there were extended kind of instrumental parts in between each verse. And then finding live versions of him playing this, he just improvises a lot between these things with some with messing around in the double drop D tuning. But that was another song that I never had appreciation for, I think, till I started listening to him doing solo versions of these from the 1969 and 71 in particular. There were a lot of acoustic solo shows that
Yeah,
surfaced over the years.
yeah, yeah. Huh.
But yeah, Broken Arrow is another example of kind of a suite of things. It's a lot of different parts, and then these instrumental interludes that just kind of take off in weird directions.
Yeah,
They have Still singing Mr. Soul at one point. For you hear Mr. Soul break in and it kind of fades out. The audience screams, and then we hear him sing about the agents in the black limousines and all. I mean, it's yeah, these were really complex compositions for a 21-year-old kid. That
yeah.
they're pretty neat.
Yeah, Neil's got to be. I think he's older than me.
I think
I,
he's 75 now.
yeah, that sounds. Yeah,
Yeah, I think. Oh, you know what? I think he was born in like 46 or 40. I think he's about 10 years older than me, is what I always kind of thought too. So, but he's right around 75 now. Yeah.
yeah.
Um,
Well, these I'll tell you these songs just evoke memory, sort of general memory. I could
sure.
see myself someplace when I hear these things.
Yeah, yeah. No, they
It's
were
definitely
part of shaping you.
yeah, exactly. It's like where I could remember where I was living when I hear
Hmm.
these things. I associate a lot of these older albums with the location, the place I was living at the time. That
Yeah, and you could even extend that to, oh man, I remember the couch I was sitting on when I was listening to this,
yeah, yeah,
that kind of stuff.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So,
It's funny. Well, Whiskey Boot Hill, um, the the intro part at all. So that's like dilemma number one in this
Okay.
was fingering. I kept, if I was going to play D minor, I would sort of naturally go to there.
That's normal. Yeah.
That's where I would go.
Yeah.
But I was trying this,
Okay.
and I could find myself doing it relatively well. And then the sequence, though, when I got to here, um, was where I found myself fumbling around,
Okay. That
depending on,
looks that looks really good though. I mean, like, I think probably in the lesson I suggested this, doing this with your fourth finger the whole time, right?
yeah,
Yeah. And I probably mentioned that I really prefer to play D minor that way in general, rather than my third,
yeah,
there are times you need to use your third, certain songs, Time in a Bottle, when you have to do something else with your fourth finger. But it'd be totally fine to play these with just your standard D minor and D fingerings too, because then your third finger would be on the same string the whole time. You go from this to this, and then you just go, yeah. So it's totally fine to do it like that.
okay. Then it's really just
You're going to use one of those fingers for everything and not use the other at all. You've got to make the choice between your
yeah,
fourth finger or your third finger, and you're not switching them on through
yeah.
this sequence.
Because there's yeah, in the sequence there's no place in this sequence where actually
Yeah, that looks good.
um, that actually
When you're grabbing those, strum them instead so you can hear all the notes.
okay, okay. So see there, I overshoot the mark there.
Oh, wrong shape on that one.
That's the other thing I do.
Right, it's confusing.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, don't change shapes on that one. And now do that with the rhythm that happens in the song. Like, what time is this section in?
Well, it's in this is in 3/4,
Yeah.
right?
So
Yeah,
so we really don't want to finger pick this at all. It's like we definitely have to strum the whole thing. I'd even suggest doing it with a pick, but it's fine to do it with your fingers too. There's nothing going on, especially with the pick that requires a pick. Like a lot of his songs, like The Needle and the Damage Done, where you got to pick out notes and things like this. This one's
yeah,
just
yeah.
completely a strumming song. So it's either a pick or not, but not necessary. What were you going to say?
Okay. And I was actually playing it with a pick mostly, um, trying it. And one thing that I found is that um, sometimes well, here, let's see, it's
Oh yeah, it's a little weird. I forgot.
yeah, it's slack time and it's is that the right term?
Swing time.
Swing time, slack
Swing time, which means the beats are going da 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 da
time.
da da. They're a little off balance. They're limping.
Yeah. But then the
Right. So let's not do that yet. Let's just do it with strictly three beats, which will sound like this. This is not the way it's really going to go. Just to kind of establish that rhythm, but then we'll worry about the syncopation in just a second.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And then and that particular progression is actually the progression that he sings in the second song in Down Down Down, right? So this is actually the intro to Down 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 that he
Yeah,
uses as the has turned into the intro for this.
right.
Um, but then the rhythm we need is this. So it's really just two downs on the first chord on beats 1 and 2, nothing on 3, and then on the and of 3, you got to be on the next chord already.
Okay.
So the second chord starts with the and of 3, and then down on 1. You can see me miss beat 3 there, right? Perfect.
Did you do that on the way back too?
Yeah, and the second half is exactly the same.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Don't change. Yeah. You got to commit to going a little further. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, hang on a second. So something about this. When you've got some things sliding like this, and especially if you got a couple of, this is a slightly new chord shape for you, and then you got to change shapes on the third chord. There's a lot of little factors here that are contributing to making this a little bit messy. But one thing I think that a place to put a little attention is when you're moving from the first chord to the second one, you kind of have to choose what's going to be your target. What are you going to be looking at? What finger are you paying attention to?
Yeah.
If it's your first finger, you got to think, I got to get it to the third fret, so I have to be looking at the third fret. If you want to keep your fourth finger as kind of the guide, because it's like the lead finger.
Out ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, so then you're still looking. Now you're looking at the fifth fret.
Yeah.
Right.
Three,
So.
five, six.
Yeah, and don't forget, the most important thing about when your hand's moving, even if it's moving small like this, you have to your eyes can't move with it. You got to be looking at the fret, not at your hand.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so be looking at the target and then bring your hand there.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
That's good. You got it. You got it. Yeah.
Ooh, that was.
That's okay. That was really good. Like a bunch of one other cool thing that developed there as were doing it. Um, first, um, first of all, you were really accurate with these changes. Now thinking about that, although that made you miss the third chord the first time, right? Because you were like I was just talking about. You got to keep like six plates spinning at the same time to make this all work. But then you fixed it like right away. It's like it's like, okay, I got to pay attention to that too. But the best thing about that was as you did it longer. You kept your hand moving the whole time. Your rhythm, your right hand your metronome was like right on target. And the whole idea with this is you keep your hand moving. There's extra noise that happens at the ends of what you've accented. It's not just this. Okay, that was how a computer would play this. But the way a guitar plays it, you hear all kinds of extra light strumming. So that's what makes it musical is the stuff kind of behind the scenes.
Okay.
That was
Yeah.
really good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um. So is it okay to play that?
To use the rounded part?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, I just for whatever reason I seem to get less hung up on the pick. I don't know if that's the right term.
Yeah, that's that. I think that's okay. Yeah, if you're, if and especially you might find like You might find for strumming stuff like this that works out better. But if you're playing again something like the needle and the damage done, and you do have to pick out individual strings really crisply, then you probably need to get back on the point.
Right.
You know,
Okay. Okay.
in a similar way, if I was, I tend to use picks that are like the second thickest out there. Usually these blue ones for strumming.
Uh-huh.
But if I was going to play a lead, and especially if I was playing with a group of people and I need a little more volume, I'd go to a thicker, like as thick a pick as I could find, like the purple ones or something,
Uh-huh.
because I'm only playing one note at a time, and I want to be able to hit them harder. But I wouldn't use necessarily that pick for something like Pinball Wizard because I need something a little more flexible. But this does the same type of thing by rotating it and going to the round end, you get a little softer sound on the strings.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay. All right. Um, so that's yeah. I get myself stuck sometimes when I don't do that, but
Yeah. So once so then the verse starts and you just stay on D minor for like four measures or something, right? Winding paths through tables and glass. Oh, six measures. First fall was the end of the D major seven, right? And then it's the E minor seven, right? Now watch
it's
the
E
sun.
minor, D in the bass. It's this one, isn't it?
Yeah, one fret higher. Yeah, it's our chord from the introduction. Yeah,
Yeah. Right. And that's six,
yeah.
and then
And then the F major seven. Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah. And can you get your thumb? Can you wrap your thumb around to get the F in the bass?
sort of.
Okay, it's not that important. It's just if you can comfortably. If it kills the first string, don't do it. If you're not getting the open E on the first string, and that gets caused by you trying to use your thumb, forget
Right.
the thumb. Okay,
Okay.
the E is more important than the F in the bass.
Okay. And then we go to E minor seven.
Then we use this E minor seven. Yeah, yeah,
This one.
hmm
It's this one, right?
yeah. Wait a second, something's wrong. Wait, do that again. Let me hear that E minor seven again. Let me hear it. Yeah, strum it. There. Okay. Okay. Good. Good. Something just sounded weird.
Let's see. Two. It's two. And then here, right?
Yeah. Almost. Hang on. Hang on. Your second finger didn't make it. Yeah. And then our B flat. Good. Yeah. In that part, try to go back to the rhythm pattern that we used in the intro. No, the da 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 da. Yeah.
Okay, then
And yeah, what happens next? Does it keep that strumming, that chord progression going? This is the no pass out time to the
this
Doors.
is the yeah it's D minor for a measure, and then M's for a measure.
Right. So it runs through those three chords.
Then we go from here to G minor.
Yeah.
Oh, do we use that strumming? Which one do we
Yeah,
use?
we use that strum, the full 3 beat one.
The full proof. No, that's a
You know, every time you go to the F major 7, you tend to stay on the chord before a little too long. You can
too
let
long.
go and get moving. You know, like you had trouble getting there from the was it the D? Oh, from the E minor 7 or the D. Anyway, so you're always really squeezing yourself for time for that F major 7. So if I was going there from this line, you know, I had after you've hit this one beat, if you get that on the first beat, the rest can be open.
Okay.
Okay, because you really got to nail those and the same thing going to the G minor. You know, I
G
mean,
minor.
so we got some kind of hard chords to get to, and give yourself a lot more time. Let go a lot sooner.
Okay.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah. Hey, now that bar has to be more parallel to the fret. You still got a big hook. Yeah, you hear it? And then let go and get to the F.
Oh,
That's okay. This is all fit together. Better. That was better though. Getting to the F. That was good. Keep going.
look, there's too
Only
many.
two, right?
Didn't get there.
And again, and back to yeah. Again, back to the intro rhythm here. Again, I think it goes back to the intro rhythm there with the beats hit on 1 and 2. You know, bum 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 bum. Oh,
Oh, this one goes. Okay.
oh wait, this might be where this might we might not have an intro here, right? Does it right goes right into find out that now was the answer to answer or
No, after the A,
yeah,
after the B flat to A, the second time through, we got four,
right?
and it says intro.
Okay, yeah. So we do the intro again. And then the singing of down 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 is that same chord progression.
It's the same chord progression, but the different rhythm. Is that?
Yeah, it wouldn't have the intro rhythm. I don't think it would be just the regular 3. Like
got to give myself lots of time to do that too.
Yeah.
To get to the F. Okay.
Okay, yeah. Need a rest probably on that B minor, right? Or the B flat.
That B flat. Yeah, I need
Yeah.
to.
So there's a little tricky thing coming up right after the B flat, and it's a quick like one beat change, right?
Yeah, it's boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
It's D minor.
It's our same three chords. It's the same sequence we've been doing, right? Yeah.
Is it 1, 2, 3? Is that?
Let me
Uh,
think about that. We just had the. Oh, it's later. Right, this is an. Yeah, it follows the words exactly. It's two beats of D minor, one beat of moving it up.
okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. So
Yeah, yeah.
okay.
And if you heard what I did right there, I kind of got to the second chord on the up before beat 3. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Okay. And then
Okay.
what happens right after that?
Then we're back to D minor for
Oh,
two.
right. It's the repeat. It's the same line. Hang on, hang on. There's 3 measures of B flat there.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're going through this sequence to here.
Yeah.
Hang on to the A.
On that one, yeah. But now on
Go
this
to
one,
here. Is it just?
no, you need to add the high G to your little finger. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we don't want to hear an E in that chord. We don't want the open E string.
Okay. Do we
And
keep?
then you leave it there for the G and the bass. Yeah.
Okay. So it's.
Yeah. Almost. Try it again. Do it again. Yeah. You got to make sure to get the C out of the way. I mean, so there's a couple little, tricky finger moves that you got to get them all lined up right. Try again. There you go. Yeah.
I'm just adding this though.
Right. Nothing else changes there. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. You had a little trouble there getting the C off when you were getting to the other notes.
Yeah.
And I think it was just trying to decide what order do I do my what order should I move these fingers in? And the
Right.
first order is get the C out of there, clear the deck before you put the new fingers on.
Okay.
Because at one point you were thinking, well, and plus I made you think about a new finger too. It's like your little finger had to now become part of the play, right? So
Right.
there were a couple of last minute adjustments there, but you could see that sometimes something that happened a couple times was you started moving for these notes and the C was still there.
Yeah.
Okay, so the first thing is get that C out of there and then plant the rest of them.
Okay. Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I gotta leave that there. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
That is really cool. I mean, that's the whole thing. That's the whole medley and all those tunes. So
Yeah. So I think, yeah, I think resolve this dilemma.
yeah, that looks good.
Move more quickly to here. And oh, rapid.
Yeah, and one other thing, just in general, that I've only mentioned once or twice so far in this lesson or in this song, is keep focusing on your bars not looking like this. Get that bar, get your elbow tucked in more to your ribs, and get that bar parallel to the fret. Yeah, yeah.
Huh. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Here. So we like when we go to B flat out of
That comes from the F the first
F,
time, I think.
yeah, the F major.
Right. And oh, so this is huge because okay, glad we ran into this. If you're going to try to wrap your thumb around and play this, even if you're not, um, the position you're going to have your hand in for a chord like this is usually bad position. It's usually like baseball bat grip.
Yes.
And when you're going to B flat, the first thing you got to do is get into is bring your elbow in, drop your wrist. So this is almost a reason for me not to promote wrapping your thumb around with this chord because you're setting yourself up for a big move. And usually what I think most people would do here is when they start going to the B flat, they first start trying to get these fingers to B flat before they realize that if I don't do this, I'm not getting there.
Yeah.
So, while you're on that F, you got to be thinking, let me get in good position first. And then, yeah, now so you could play the F with better position. You're just not going to play the F in the bass. And
Yeah.
now the move to the B flat is a lot less drastic. Yeah, see?
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that looked a lot better. Yeah. There's still, I mean, you still have to do a move. You're gonna change your wrist because
Yeah. Still have to. Yeah. 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 And then the other one, the other bar move is the
to G minor
G
from up
minor
there,
seventh
right?
to G.
That looks a whole lot better too. Right there, you did exactly what I was talking about with your first finger. It's yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see.
It's hard to assemble that one not coming from the other one, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the very first time you played that chord today, you did have the big crook in it, and only the bass notes came out. Like nothing was good, but like right there, all six strings were crystal clear. And that's a really important. Yeah, that chord's really important because it's the only time in the song we hear it. We hear it once, and we hear G all the time. So if we're not clearly hearing the note on the third string, which is what makes it minor, we're kind of like we're wasting the impact of that chord, of that G minor.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I see. Yeah, because we're in the E minor shape here,
Yeah.
where where that is an open
And that note is what part of the chord?
to the third.
Right. And see, so when you play E major, that's the note we raise to the G
Right.
sharp.
Right. Right. If we played E major, we would be
Yeah.
here, and then
Yeah.
the E minor, we flatted that third.
Right. And so if that string is dead, we don't have the chord that we're
Right,
looking for. That's
right.
great. I can hear the minor in that chord, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So that's the most important note in that chord is the note on the third string in the
Yeah.
bar.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Well,
Wow. Well, this is a good diversion. I'm really glad this one grabbed you.
I am too. Well, it's well, I like for all the reasons I like it, but I also it's also helpful for me to have both things going at once. Having a finger picking thing and
Yeah.
and a strumming thing too.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
the strumming stuff, man, it's somehow getting the right rhythm and getting my hand to move correctly. That's a interesting challenge.
Well, I gotta say, you're looking pretty comfortable with it. I mean, like when I first adjusted that thing in the intro here, said it's got to sound like this, two downs and then you switch on the up and stuff like that. It's like the first time you tried it, you had it. It was so you definitely are getting some facility with this.
Yeah, I just started reading a book. A friend of mine sent me a story out of the New York Times, which I'd actually read, um, called "Guitars Are Back." I think that's what it is.
Oh,
Did you read the New York Times?
no, but I will try to
I'll,
track
I'll,
that
I'll,
down.
I'll I'll just
Send-
shoot. I'll shoot it to you.
Okay.
I'll shoot you the link. Anyway, it goes on to discuss how the pandemic has brought on this enormous level of interest in guitars, online lessons, and they pick out a couple things in there that they like, things I've never heard of. But and so anyway, they talk about that, but then they also talk about this notion of mind exercise and neuroplasticity. They don't use that word, but that's sort of my word for it, which is
Hmm.
as you get older, you should try to keep learning stuff because
Yeah.
that's the only way you actually burn any new pathways in your brain. And
Sure.
which, well, I'm sure I've mentioned this before, but that's a really big part of why I like doing this.
Yeah.
Is all this new stuff, I discover I have to be burning pathways because I have nothing to fall back on. But anyway, they quote a book in there um, called or Your Mind on Music or something like that by a guy by the name of, it's in the thing, by a guy by the name of Daniel. Oh, there we go. This is Your Brain on Music. That's exactly it. Yeah,
Have you?
yeah.
I have two copies of this. I've made it to page 20 in both of them twice over 5 years. It's unreadable. So I'll send you one of the copies if you want.
No, no, I actually don't do that. I have it. It's on the thing. I actually read the first. I read the intro, so
Okay.
I'll find out. This guy. He's written a whole bunch of like brain connection books and stuff.
Yeah, and I had students I gave this to two or three of my students. My son gave it to me as a Christmas present or something, and a
Yeah,
student had given it to me about 5 years ago. And I remember I got through about the first 30 or 40 pages, and it was just getting too dry and too scientific. Anyway, and so I thought, okay, I'll give it another try. And so when my son gave me this one, I gave it another try, and I subsequently gave up again. And I said, you know what? It's not interesting enough. I mean, I like the idea, sounds really cool, but I
right.
couldn't force myself to get any further through it. And I mentioned it to one of my students who was here, and she says, "Oh man, I heard that guy on the radio like 10 years ago when the book came out or something, and
Yeah,
it
yeah.
just sounded so good." And I rushed out and bought it, and I made it through about 15 pages and said, "Forget it." You know?
Well, there's my trajectory, my arc on the song, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. But anyway, it seemed like a great idea. It's just his writing. Did you read very far into it?
I read the intro.
Yeah.
It was like, I don't know, 25, 30 pages.
Yeah, that's about as far as I could get, and it did seem pretty interesting in the beginning. But then and even once in a while I'd flip to like page 70 or something and read a little bit of it, and I thought, oh my God, I can't. It's
I'll have,
anyway.
I'll tell you what, I'll give it a wing and
That would be
I'll see
great.
how,
Yeah, I'd love to see if there's if it's worth pursuing.
yeah, Maybe it will strike my chord. I don't know. No pun
Yeah,
intended.
yeah.
Uh,
But that whole thing about pathways and stuff is really, music is a great thing to do that and to make you build connections that could be dying, you know.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, they certainly are. I mean, I just the whole notion of trying to, well, in my case, when I picked up the guitar again, I think it was from age 66
Mm,
to age 10. So it's 56 years.
right.
So, well, and as my mother told me the story, I took lessons for about 2 months, and that was it when I was 10 years old.
Ah,
And and my dad played the guitar a little bit, but kind of campfire country kind of style. But the only thing I remembered in 56 years were what C looked like, what G looked like, and what D looked like. That's all I remembered.
wow.
And the thing that I found that was perhaps the most foreign was, I mean, that part, I figured, oh, I could relearn where to put my fingers, and I can relearn the whole thing. Um, and then, but the rhythm part of it is much more of a challenge, and almost physically, it was much more of a challenge because for whatever reason, I don't, things just don't move around. I mean,
Yeah.
I watch people who is what's that girl's name? Molly Tuttle.
Oh,
Watch Molly Tuttle play guitar, and I can't even begin to imagine how she can move that quickly, that accurately. That's
yeah.
it's
Yeah.
just wow. That's just
Yeah.
wow.
I don't know if you know this about her, but so her dad is a very good musician and teacher, based in Palo Alto, right? So he's been teaching at Griffin for as long as I've been teaching, probably. I mean, I think he's a little older than me. And we've met a few times, but so it's not surprising that his kid got. One of my other students was taken by a song that Sarah Guthrie did. Oh, and it was "Catch the Wind," Donovan, and she was just kind of amazed at how smooth Sarah was on the guitar. And it's kind of like, well, there are some genetics involved,
Yeah,
with kids picking up stuff when they're around it all the time. And
yeah.
Molly is much the same, I think. She's, I've never met her, but I just knew of her as a little kid as Jack's daughter. But
Oh wow. Well,
yeah,
she's a presence now.
yeah,
On
yeah,
Man, just on YouTube and everything else, and
mhm,
she's got quite a. I guess she's in Nashville now and all that
yeah. That's pretty
stuff.
neat.
So, yeah, pretty cool. But anyway, she moves. It's just extraordinary to watch
Yeah,
the
it
playing.
looks
But
too easy.
yeah,
Yep.
the other guys like that guy. There's uh, Billy Strings.
Mm.
Billy Strings. So Molly Tuttle and Billy Strings playing pretty
Oh,
famous old bluegrass tune together. And
yeah, yeah.
see
I
like
did see something like I either saw that one or something. Yeah, saw the
yeah,
two of them do
it's
something.
like, well,
Yeah,
how did that happen? So
yeah, yeah.
anyway, all right. Thank you.
Okay, I'll send you a link to this, and I might even put these two things that we did up as fly on the wall things, if that's okay with you.
Oh, sure. It's okay with me. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, yeah, because I haven't done one in a really, I haven't done one in almost a year probably. But I thought now that you got grabbed by Country Girl, I thought, oh, I bet there's a lot of people that would like to see us work through that since it just went
Yeah.
up like last week. So,
Okay. All
okay,
right.
good. I will plan on seeing